Hi legends, hope you're doing great, hope you're doing amazing. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whenever you're watching it from. And I'm really glad you're staying tuned and going through your course. And as you can see, I filmed the last session and this session at the same time because the last session I filmed it yesterday and I completed the videos and I found that they're all corrupted. So I have to film again. So I come back to do today's session. So I have to do the previous session as well at the same time, so as to keep up with my target. All right. Really proud of you actually for staying tuned and also going through the course, and also most especially I hope you're doing the activities, because it's not just about learning, it's also about doing. Like I said earlier, learning and action are one to one. So make sure when you do 1 hour of personal development or learning, do 1 hour of activities or action. All right, so in today's video, and also sorry, if you haven't done your last activity, make sure you download that resources, that PDF, fill it out and share it with the community. What are your creation hobbies that you're going to be doing more of? So in today's video, we're going to talk about how to find your passion. Maybe at the last session, you've been confused because you don't even know what's your passion. So in today's session, I'm gonna help you reveal or identify your passion. Yes, I forgot to remove my glasses. I know it's been reflecting on my glasses, the light. So usually when you ask people, what do you hate in life? Like, what do you hate? People instantly can list a lot of stuff that they hate, but ask person, what do you love? What do you really love in life? What do you really love in your life? They will be like, start dabbling. They have to think of they have to think of what they want, but ask them what they don't want. Instantly they can list a lot of stuff that they don't want. So because most people like focus on what they don't want, focus on the things that they hate instead of focusing on things that they want. But a lot of people doesn't even know like what is the thing that I even really want. So there are 5 questions you need to ask yourself in order to actually identify your passion. Maybe you don't. Maybe the third question you might be able to identify your passion. Well, maybe at the first question, maybe you have to go to the last question. So there are a series of questions you need to ask yourself in order to identify what is your passion. So number 1 is, think of a moment you really feel alive and joyful or excited. Think of that moment. What kind of moment is that? Write it down. Also, number 2 is, ask yourself deeply, what are the things that you are really interested in since your childhood? Can you remember those things that you are really interested in since your childhood? Write those down as well. So the question number 3 is, what are the stories of those particular moments that reveal some kind of excitement that you have in relation of doing something trivial? That means trivial means something of value or importance. What are those moments? Can you remember those moments? Write it down. Number 4 is, if you have all the time and all the money in the world, what would you spend your time doing? A really good question. Number 5, what truly makes you happy or gives you deep sense of fulfillment? So if you can be able to answer these 5 questions, you're gonna be able to identify what is your passion. So as for me, I really love design, like graphic designing. So as you can see from my logo, I create my attachment, those PDFs, I created them. I used to edit the videos, I create the thumbnail, the video intro and outro. So I love designing, and I'm like kind of tech savvy guy, so I love tech, and I used to always research about tech and also like AI, and moreover I'm kind of I love self-education, so I used to learn on my by myself. I learned a lot of stuff by myself, Like in school, I hate lectures because pushing me with some bunch of people in a room trying to teach me something, it really gets boring. And a lot of times I used to even sleep in the class because it's really boring. And let's say I was in a lecture for about 2 hours about a particular topic. When I got back home, I go on YouTube and watch 20-minute video about the same topic I learned for 2 hours. I'm gonna understand that topic more than every other person in that class. Yeah, just 20-minute video. Like watching video just me alone in my room. I really have like focus and more attention towards that, and I love that. I used to understand a lot of things when I'm alone, like in a room, learning alone. I love that. Because normally I'm an introvert, so I don't like mingling with people a lot. So I love learning on my own, and that's why I'm into self-education industry, to be able to actually provide knowledge to people that they can actually go through their own timing, their own terms, from comfort of their homes or from anywhere they can actually get access to it. So another thing I really love is I really love the personal development, like listening to audiobooks. Mostly I don't read books physically. I mostly listen to audiobooks, and I used to jot down some ideas. Even when I'm like working or doing something, whenever I heard about something that really hits me, I really stop and just like type it in my notes in my phone, so that I can save it and I can also create some quotes from it. If you follow me on my social media handles, you can see I really post a lot of stuff about personal development, quotes, and some structured reels. So I love personal development. I love like watching inspirational or motivational videos as well. So another thing I really love is I love taking courses also about personal development, and also I love exploring new places. Like I love to actually go and explore a lot of new places wherever I go, and I love taking pictures. So whenever I go, I used to take a lot of pictures around those places, and I love taking selfies as well. Like personally, my own personal folder, just my pictures. I have about 2,000 pictures in that folder, because I really love, not even about more than 2,000 pictures in that folder, because I really love taking pictures and shooting some videos. So part of things I love, and also I love playing video games and sometimes watching movies. But those are consumption activities, and I love like drifting cars, sounds, and all those stuff. I love it. But those are consumption activities, so I have to do less of them for now. Like right now, I play games once in a week, sometimes once in 2 weeks, because I really focus on building my business now, so that in the future I can have a lot of time to actually do those kind of consumption activities. So another thing I really love is I love to take smartphones, and since when I was a kid, I love to take smartphones whenever we have like visitors in the house. Like I take their smartphones, play some games. I used to go through that smartphone, like settings, everything about that phone. So even now, whenever I got a new phone, I have to go to settings and check out every single folder in that settings to see everything about the settings. How can I like modify the phone? That's why I really love Android, because Android have more options about like personalizing your phone. This is just my opinion. Maybe some of you might love my iPhones, but for me, I love Android because I love to actually have freedom to personalize my phone into my own personal interest. So that's why I love Android as well. So that's why I have skill at that particular thing. Whenever someone have issue with his phone, and immediately he goes to me. And even now that I'm not currently in my hometown, so I'm filming here from Saudi Arabia. I came to Saudi Arabia I think last February, which is 2022. So like since when people recognize I'm good with laptops and phones, whenever they have issue with their phones, wherever they are, they have to go to, like, if they even know someone that have technical issues about their phones, they ask that person to come to me. Like every time I used to have people coming up to me, like, to solve some of their problems. So that's why sometimes I even have to shut my doors, and also I have to like force myself to not take some course, because I really have to focus on doing some of the stuff that are really important, because a lot of people just coming on with their own technical issues as well. So, and one thing I'm going to share with you is, like I told you, you might have passion about something, but until you explore that thing, that's when you realize that you have passion about. Like personal development, I didn't have passion towards that when I was a kid. That I even get to know personal development when I was 19, because where I was living before, Nigeria, never heard of something like personal development. So I don't even know what is there. I don't know there are some even personal books, because from my own experience, just we have only just textbooks regarding school. Outside that, there are no like books about that, because in my country to even get personal development books, it's really hard, because people don't used to buy it, so people don't used to sell it. So I actually get introduced to personal development when I was 19, when I joined network marketing, and that was when I started to know about personal development. My upline asked me to actually read a book. The book was The 21st Century, The Business of the 21st Century. And the book was written by Robert Kiyosaki. So I can remember that those moments I'm practicing my medical lab profession. I'm practicing in laboratory. So then I used to watch minimum of 2 movies. That's how I love movies, and I always play games. But when I start to read those books, like the way I love reading those books, I even forgot to watch movies at all. Like I spent about 2 weeks without watching a single movie. I was like, wow, how can I did that? I love it. I really love reading books. So sometimes you have to explore new things to actually know like what's your passion. So another story I want to share with you is the story of Steve Jobs, who is the co-founder of Apple. Actually, there are 3 people that found Apple: Steve Jobs, Steve Wozniak, and Steve Reynolds, something. Nobody knows that guy because he sold his shares since the early stage of Apple, so he gave up. So at the end, those 2 end up building that giant company Apple. So how does all this started? So his moments, like those moments that he really feel alive since when he was childhood, is when his father is taking him through streets of Sunnyvale in California, and sorry, that was unprofessional. So they passed by like a shop. The shop, there were equipment like cameras and all those stuff, and Steve Jobs' eyes were wide open. Wow, I love it. Like the way those equipment are designed, the way they shine, like the component of those objects. It's just really fascinated with him. So that's how it all started, and he ended up building the gigantic company Apple. So if you just have to really like look deep enough in your life, reflect, actually you have to think deeply to find those moments that really feel alive and joyful. And if still can't find anything, like I say, explore new things. Go out there and explore new things. You can search on Wikipedia, list up some hobbies, take some of the hobbies and start exploring some new things. And the most important thing you will do is actually know who really you are, know what makes you different, what makes you unique, and what you love. Because sometimes our expectation used to drive us in some certain scenarios where we focus so much in life about what we want to be, in opposed to who we want to be. So don't treat who you are for who you think the world needs, because the world doesn't need another Steve Jobs. The world doesn't need another Tony Robbins. The world doesn't need another Morgan Freeman or another Michael Jackson. The world needs you to be you. So remember that you have something in you, and you are here for a reason. And keep this in mind that this course is not just about finding your purpose or finding your career. It is also about your mental health, and also discovering who you are and what makes you unique. So when you discover your passion, make sure you don't just chase after your passion, you invest in it. What do I mean by that? Let's say you're passionate about drawing. So always try to invest in learning how to draw better, because your passion is a combination of what you love and what you're good at. Maybe you're really talented in drawing. Maybe you're not that super talented, you're just good at drawing. So try always to improve and always keep growing your passion, because when you're just doing thing over and over again, it becomes your daily routine. And if it becomes your daily routine, it won't give you that energy, because passion is like energy. It won't give you that same amount of energy it used to give you before. But when you're growing it, like the passion you have in doing that thing, in growing that thing, it gives you that energy back. And like what Tony Robbins said, that passion is not found in something that is predictable over and over again, but passion is found in a realm of uncertainty. So make sure you always keep improving at that thing you're passionate about. Keep growing. So this is it for this session. I know it's quite long because we have some little stories and all this stuff. So in this session assignment, go to the resources section and download that document, the PDF, print it out, and answer those 5 questions I talked about earlier, and have a separate paper as well to list the things you identify as your passion, like things you really love, and make sure you separate those things that you truly love from the bottom of your heart, and the things you love because of people or your environment. So don't forget to share it with the community. What are the things, like what is your passion? What are the things that you truly love from the bottom of your heart? So make sure to share it with the community, and can't wait to start seeing your posts popping on, so as to encourage you and to cheer you on. So guys, stay tuned and peace out.